All right, did not participate. D. Hall, toe. Culver, knee. DeSean, hamstring. Lichtensteiger, neck. Chris Thompson, back. Hatcher, knee. Keenan Robinson, heel. Limited was Jordan Reed, Trent Williams, and Paya. And then full was Breland, Matt Jones, Trent Robinson, and that's it. And then Secchi was full.
What happened to Corey's neck? It had been shoulder, right? Is there something
it's
different?
It's his disc area.
Oh, okay. What kind of prognosis do you guys have on something like that?
You know, we're not sure yet. The goal for him is just to get stronger and get some strength back on his left side of his arm. You know, it's not a serious deal where he's threatened paralyzation or anything like that. It's just a matter of getting strength back on his left side. And he's coming along pretty good. I don't know how long, though.
Reed and Trent, are they cleared out of concussion protocol, or where are they sitting?
They're still in it. They're just progressing in the protocol. They're allowed to practice, go to meetings, and as long as they don't have any setbacks, we'll see how it goes.
Are they cleared for any contact?
No.
Okay.
I guess DeSean, then. What's your expectation, if any, for this week, DeSean Jackson?
This week?
Yeah.
Not very high. Not very high. I think the goal is to try to get him back going, running and all that stuff, get him some rest, and then I'll see how he is after the bye. But you never know. You know, he felt pretty good today. We'll get him some more running tomorrow. It's a long shot, but there's a chance.
Thank you.
What's happened with Keenan and the heel?
He just got a sore heel, and you know, it just bothered him with the shoe on today, and some discomfort there. So kept him out.
Is there anything to worry about towards Sunday?
No, I don't think so. But you know, we'll have to wait and see tomorrow how he's doing.
What did you think of Josh's game in place of Corey? How did he do?
He did some good things. You know, the first time playing center, starting at center position, I think he did some good things. You know, he communicated pretty well. Obviously, you know, when you look at the grades of all the offensive linemen, nobody graded as an A. But for his first time playing center, there were some positive things there, things he can get better at. But I think he can build off his performance. You know, the biggest issue are some of the snaps. You know, we just got to get the snaps under control a little bit, and then finishing some blocks.
Kind of opened up the bag of tricks with that Crowder attempting a pass at least. How about his kind of how he was able to throw it away and not force something there? And I'm sure you guys practice that, but what kind of other? I'm sure you have all kinds of other plays that you could go to, but how do you think that play went?
Well, you know, we tried a double pass, and obviously it didn't work. Their linebacker, you know, lucked out and made a heck of a play. You know, we threw a little screen over there to Crowder, one we always run, and we tried to leak our halfback out down the right sideline, and their linebacker was a man-to-man and stayed with them, and Crowder did a nice job of throwing it away. You know, it wasn't there, and that was what he was supposed to do. So it's a good decision by him, but unfortunately it didn't work.
Jay, I know we've asked you about this before, but now that you've had a chance to really digest what you've seen the past couple of weeks, what is not working in the run game? How much of it is the blocking, and how much it is the running backs missing opportunities?
Well, it's a little bit, and then some of it's the defense that we played. You know, this was a big, strong, physical Jet defense that covered up all the linemen and had the outside backers on the outside. It was a tough defense to run against, quite frankly. But still, we have to do a better job of getting some movement, and then the backs have to do a good job of sticking their foot in the ground and making some positive yards. So it's a combination, and I can't pinpoint it on one area, one group, one person. I think it's a combination of, you know, some of it's scheme also. You know, one time we ran into a free safety blitz, you know, and that's you can't do that. So for the most part, we're going to continue to work on our running game, and we'll get some better looks. And starts this week. You know, our guys have been issued a challenge, and hopefully they'll rise up to it and get our running game back on track, because we have to. You know, like I said before, you know, the team that we have, we need to get our running game going.
Jay, with Chris Culver, has he had an MRI on that knee?
Yes.
There's no chance he's not going to need any sort of surgery? Is there any concern about that at all?
No, he's just having some things done to it to hopefully relieve the issue, and then you know, get him where he feels more comfortable to play. He's just still dealing with some pain, and we're trying to alleviate that pain.
Okay.
Coach, how do you feel since the beginning of the season that Kirk has done in terms of off-schedule plays and his creativity in the pocket, or not in the pocket, just off-schedule plays and trying to extend things?
We haven't had many off-schedule plays, scramble plays, unscripted plays, and that's that's fine. That doesn't always happen. You'd love to have a couple big plays in that regard, but I think that'll come hopefully. When he can step up, maneuver in a pocket, scramble outside the pocket, find some guys down the field, and that's the receivers working for him, working with him, also getting open down the field. But we just haven't had any, and hopefully we'll get some here coming up.
Jay, we talked a lot about special teams early in the season. You guys got another big play this weekend. We didn't talk about a ton with Jerron's punt block. I know the Jets only had 10 guys on the field at the time, but took advantage of it. How have you seen that unit overall? That's the second big play you've gotten with Ross's kick return as well. But overall, how would you assess how special teams?
Well, I think you start with the kicker, and he's been outstanding, kicking the ball off, making field goals. His onside kicks they're like magic balls. I don't know how he keeps them in play. I don't know how he haven't recovered one yet. He's an amazing onside kicker, but he's done excellent. Tress has come on, had a couple good weeks of punting. Sundberg's done a nice job snapping, and then the units themselves have done a pretty good job for the most part, despite having guys filled in different key spots. Jarrett's playing a lot. Jerron Johnson's playing a lot. He's doing some good things, and we've got some guys. Mason Foster stepped in and done some good things. So I think as a unit, they're doing pretty good, and we've had 2 touchdowns, which is excellent. Unfortunately, they've come in times when we're down by 20 points, but you like to see some production there, and we've had some. Now we need some more out of the punt return game, and when we do get an opportunity to return the ball on a kickoff, we'd like to get better blocking, obviously. But we've limited big plays for the last couple of weeks as far as punt. Punt coverage has done good, kickoff coverage.
On Monday, we talked about the third quarter, and you said you were about to go into a meeting with the coaches to discuss the issues you've had there. Just were there any good solutions arrived at? Do you think you made some progress there?
Yeah, we're working on it, and I think a lot of it is A, we got to play better. B, we have to make sure we don't lose any intensity as a group, as a staff. We've had leads 5 out of 6 games going into halftime, and you don't have much time to change your game plan. But you do have time to get your team remotivated, get them up for the second half, review some of the things that happened in that first half, and then preview some of the things that going to happen. And we just got to get our guys up. And for whatever reason, we have not had the same energy level and the same production in the third and fourth quarters we have in the first 2 quarters. So, we're going to address our play calling, our defensive play calling, our schemes, and go from there. But also, our players have to rise up and make some plays too. So it goes hand in hand. A lot of it falls on my shoulders, and it trickles down from there.
Jay, before Jordan was injured, he was a big part of the team's success on third downs. The last 2 games, you guys have not been able to convert as well as you have been. What have been some of the challenges of trying to pick up those first downs without Jordan on the field?
Well, it's a challenge because he's a mismatch no matter how you cut it. You can put a corner on him, and that'll leave somebody else open. If you put a safety on him, he wins. If you play man-to-man, if you play zone, he's matched up. He's great at finding holes in zones and running choice routes and option routes. So he's an issue for a defense. And when he's not in there, it takes a little bit off of your plate as far as your play call, your formations, your schemes. It takes a lot off, to be honest with you. So when you have a great tight end, and you look at other teams, with the very good tight ends, and when they're in the game and the problems they cause for an opposing offense, you can see it. And when they're not in the game, it's different. But when he's not in the game, like he wasn't last week, we need to make sure other guys are figuring out ways to get open in zones and separating versus man. And we didn't do a very good job of quarterbacks recognizing the zones, knowing where to go, receivers getting open, finding the holes, all that. So it's a combination of things. Other guys got to step up, and we just hadn't done that the last 2 weeks without them.
Jay, you said you want to use DY more, and if Jordan were to be out one more week, some early success this season, the running game came with 3 tight ends. Is that something he's capable of doing, lining up as a tight end H-back and trying to put some of that stuff back in?
He's never really done that. He's more of a I-back, strong back in the backfield type guy. I'm sure he could do it. He's a very athletic guy, but those tight ends are longer, taller, longer with length to handle outside linebackers and the blocks and all that. Not to say he can't do it. And that's something we could look at, but it's just we haven't asked him to do that. We like him as far as going downhill on linebackers or chipping off the defensive ends up to the next level. He's pretty athletic, but as far as in the core, blocking guys right up on him, that's pretty difficult for a fullback to do.
Jay, from what we could see, it looked like Matt Jones was back in the mix. Can you speak about his readiness possibly for Sunday, and is he further ahead than Chris Thompson, seemed like?
Yeah, Matt looked good today. He practiced well when he did practice, so we have high hopes for him. But, like I said, with these injuries, Wednesdays they come out here and they run around a little bit. They look pretty good. And then Thursday morning when they come into treatment, let's see how it's progressing. And we add more on their plate on Thursday, and Friday the same thing. And then we'll make a decision Friday after practice and worst case Saturday morning. But I think, it's indicating that he's going to be able to go, unless he has a setback like DeSean did last week.
And some of the issues with the running game was predicated by the defense and how they were keyed in on stopping the run. But what can you do as an offense to maybe make them not be so keyed in on stopping the run and filling the box?
Yeah, you're going to have to throw it. You have to take some shots down the field, obviously. And we tried to do that a couple times and failed. And when we did run it, we were stuck in 2nd and 8, which takes away your play actions and your bootlegs and all that stuff, and you're relegated to some drop-back passing. We tried some quick games and get ourselves into 3rd and makeable, and that sometimes we made them, sometimes we didn't. But, there's things we have to do a better job of mixing up our play calls. I think we ran it and threw it about half and half on 1st down last week. So we did a good job mixing up. We just weren't very productive. And we weren't able to keep drives alive. And, against the New York Jets, I think if you play them again, I think you need to have some big plays in that game. And to drive the ball 15 plays and 80 yards is tough. And we just didn't get the big play shots that we would like to get.
In past years, when guys have concussions, you see them be monitored, and then by the end of the week, they're fine and they're playing. This year, it seems like it's been a slower process for a lot of guys. Has the protocol from the league changed at all that you've noticed? Are they more cautious from your observations?
Well, it has changed because you have the independent doctor they have to go to now. Once they get out of our building, they go to the independent doctor we have nothing to do with. So they go through all the tests here and go through all the process, and then they have to go see him, and they go through the test with him, and he makes the final call, basically. And I think we'll just have to wait and see where the symptoms are, and then they'll make the final determination when they're cleared.
When are Jordan and Trent scheduled to see the independent neurologist?
I don't even know. Probably Thursday or Friday is usually the way it goes. But they're able to start practice with the team and slowly implement some contact and go from there. And I think if everything's cleared, there's a pretty good chance they play. But it's got to be symptom-free. They have to pass the test and all that stuff. So,
but they can practice with some contact because obviously, when we dealt with this earlier in the preseason with Robert, a quarterback practicing with no contact,
yes,
no big
there's
deal.
Different stages of the concussion deal. When they first get it, there's no contact, and then when they get cleared, then they're allowed to some contact a little bit here and there, and then they continue through the process. So. That's where they are.
The program is kind of accomplishing its goal of just making sure that you guys are as safe with guys as possible as they possibly can.
I think so. I think that's important. As a coach, sometimes you get frustrated, like, man, he looks fine, but really you want to be safe with these guys. And we know, the history of the concussions and all that, and what the problems they can cause. And we want them to be right, and we want them to be totally clear of any symptoms before they step out on the field. And I think we're going through the right process. I think the league is taking a serious stance on it, and it's a good thing to do.
Jay, obviously with only 16 games on the schedule, they're all huge, but just kind of given the big picture here, 2-4 against a team that's also struggling a little bit with the bye week coming up and the state of the NFC East, just how enormous is this week?
Well, it's big, obviously. I made that point pretty clear to everybody, and I know it's big for them, and every game should be treated like that. You only get 16 of these things, and they're all equally as important. But when you're 2-4 and you're getting pushed into the corner a little bit, I think there comes a point in time where you got to really fight, and that's where we are right now. We are getting backed into the corner right now, and I hope our guys come out swinging. I know they will. I know I will. We'll lead the charge and get them ready. But I know the Buccaneers in a similar situation. They're behind in their division a little bit. They got some excellent players in their football team, a young quarterback. They got 2 first-ballot Pro Bowlers in their defense and 2 big receivers and an excellent running back. And it'll be a great game.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.